Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Campaign Corner. My name is Sherry Wassell, and with me is Lacy Johnson. He's running for the 5th District in the great state of Minnesota, which happens to be my state as well. So I'm super thrilled to have him with us tonight for the Your Voice America interview. Lacy, how are you doing?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, and I'm super thankful that you're running. I'm really excited about your campaign. So tell us, how is your campaign going so far?
It's going pretty good. We're still doing some planning. We started our fundraising. We're going to be, we got our flyers and literature cranked up. We've been on various TV shows, both nationally and internationally. We're doing a lot of interviews. My team is coming back together. So I'm very happy with the situation that we're in right now and the progress that we've made. I'm still getting a little used to being on social media every day. That's probably the biggest challenge for me, but I'm getting there.
You are. You're doing great. I noticed your followers increased hugely on Twitter. And I know that, patriots across the entire country are really rooting for you and really excited. Now, you do have four other opponents, but in my opinion, you are definitely the front runner. Would you agree
Yes,
with that?
yes. And one of them dropped out. I don't know whether he made it officially yet. One of
Okay.
them dropped out earlier this week or late last week. So we're down to officially me and two other people right now. And we
Okay.
hope to pare that down a little bit more as time goes by.
Yes. Well, in reading your background, I know that you have lived and worked in North Minneapolis for over 40 years, and you have an incredible education background and work experience. And you're really like a hero with a heart because of your service with internet technology and your ability to work in the aerospace field. And then also, I know that you've volunteered quite a bit within the community for youth and gangs, and you've done prison outreach. So just tell us a little bit more about that background.
Well, you hit on it. I started out in my career as a technical writer at Hennepin County, and I was writing about the sheriff warrant database, and I kept asking questions, but my philosophy has always been not to ask other people to explain things to me that I can read for myself and learn from myself. So that triggered me going back to Brown Institute, taking computer programming, and that led to a 40-year career, as you say, as a computer technology, mainly in aerospace, building everything from standard airborne computers for fighter jets to air reconnaissance system to computers that guide torpedoes to units that guide nuclear missiles. So, the whole gambit of defense technology and systems, and just getting to meet a lot of the soldiers and the generals and the commanders and the lieutenant general colonels and the colonels, and just everybody in the military. And that gave me a good background there. So, yeah, I've been in there for about 40 years. And like you say, I worked in the community, whether it's prison ministry, serving on the trustee board at my church, serving on the advisory board for charter schools, starting up charter schools,
Mhm.
dealing with gang members. And the other thing I think of as community work too, starting businesses, free enterprise, for-profit businesses within the community. And as you probably are aware, 55411 is one of the poor zip codes in the state of Minnesota. But I choose to stay here because I run into young men and women that I can have an immediate impact on their lives and give them a word of encouragement. I know in my life, sometimes it just takes one word or one sentence from one person to change your whole outlook on life. And I want to be here for the young people in this community. And aside from that, in spite of what the media projects, is one of the greatest communities in the state of Minnesota. And I just love being here.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I really love the way that you relate to the voters because you are actually one of them. You live there for so long. And one of your issues, I know you're very happy with President Trump. You're a huge President Trump supporter, and you're very happy with his economic policies and specifically empowerment zones. And you support that. And you also had some other ideas for creating wealth in these lower income areas. So tell us about that.
Yeah, of course. So first, the empowerment zone, opportunity zone. I really prefer that over the previous administration empowerment zone, which is a nonprofit-based kind of a solution. What I like about the opportunity zone, it leverages the pent-up energy and creativity of the free enterprise system, and entrepreneurs. So I really love all of that. So I've been working in that field. Uh, I've been starting businesses, let's say, that are going to leverage the opportunity zone incentive, whether it's computer business. I've been saying to the people in our community and everybody else who's willing to listen, I really believe that the solution to a lot of the issues facing our community is the creation of wealth. And I really believe the best way to create wealth is to create for-profit global enterprises, whether in technology, internet, financial services, or whatever, uh, consumer products. That's where we have to compete at. And so I'm dedicated to helping us compete in those particular fields to start companies. I've already been involved in one startup here, a technology company that has some great potential in the e-commerce field. And we've got a lot of other young technologists, and what they really need is some investors and things to help them grow their businesses, with the understanding that anytime you get into a business, it's a tough, challenging field, but that's got to be our out, rather than what we've been experiencing for the last 4 decades with the democratic liberal kind of policy where everything is a nonprofit, it's a handout. And I'm saying let's learn how to fish and quit relying on people to give us fish. So that's my basic philosophy toward economics within our community, and how we are going to succeed in that area.
And when you're out talking to the voters and you share this with them, are they able to understand it? I mean, how is it in your district? Is it, what do people think about President Trump? Are they listening to the mainstream media? Are you able to tell them the truth? How, what do they think?
That's a very good question. I would start off. We know that there are the radical, way left socialist type of voters, and there's nothing a Republican can basically say to them. They're the type that probably throw water on people in restaurants and things like that. So they're lost cause. But I assume about 20% of the district is in that category. But that gives me 80% of the district to work with. And out of that 80%, a lot of what we're doing is talking about President Trump's accomplishment and how it has affected our community, whether you're talking about unemployment, whether you're talking about the stock market, whether you're talking about things like the tariffs and renegotiating trade agreements, whether you're talking about not falling for the Paris Accord with the environment, where we're really going to be selling out American job workers basically for a solution that does hardly any good. So they are very aware of his economic policy. I'm spreading the word because the mainstream media, they want to portray him as a racist and a bigot. But I'm spreading the word because one of the things I looked at when I was looking at President Trump, because I don't pay attention to the media that much anyway, but what I paid attention to is that just about every black person that knew him up close and personally, not only did they say he's not a racist, they actually liked the guy. And you know how politics is. You can go 70 years of your life and not be a racist and be one of the most understanding, diverse, and loving people in the world. As soon as you're into politics and you're a Republican, you become a racist. And that's the benefit of my candidacy, because I dare them to call me a racist. They can try. But I'm not. So we need to take that focus off of that and put it back on just the economic developers and things like that. I tell people I have an acronym that kind of defines my platform. It's called FEES, FEES. And it's a focus on family, it's a focus on education, it's a focus on economics, and it's a focus on something I call spirituality, which don't mix it up with religions, but with spirituality to me is to understand that you're part of a bigger whole, whether it's a family, whether it's a city, a state, a country, a universe, and that you have obligation and responsibility to other people. Also, that a lot of the issues that's facing our community is because we're just doing things that are unethical, immoral, and illegal. And one thing I have the background is to talk to black men about families and things like that, and keeping the family together, and stop doing the illegal things to get us in trouble where we can't support our family. And one thing I learned as a man, once I had children and a wife, it's not about me anymore. I get my satisfaction through doing my job and supporting my family and leading my family. And if you can't get your satisfaction that way, then you're in trouble as a man. So I'm trying to get them to refocus on family things, refocus on education, refocus on economics, and refocus on spirituality.
Well, I think it's just incredible. And like I said earlier, I mean, you have such an incredible background with your education. You have the brain, you know how to problem solve and work out problems, but you have a huge heart. And I just really, really am rooting for you in Minnesota 5. So, and you know, in 2016, President Trump came within only 1.5%. And he could have won the state. And I know as you know, he's targeted us and he has said he's going to win us in 2020. And he's coming here tomorrow, right into the heart of your district.
Yes, and we plan on being there. I got some young volunteers going to be down there interfacing with potential voters and people out state and just the people of Minnesota, period. You know, just they're just such wonderful people and get word out there on my candidacy. And of course, I'm looking forward to President Trump being in town. If the Antifa people behave themselves and the Minneapolis policemen do their jobs and things
Yeah.
like that. So I'm really looking forward to that so he can get his message out too. He have to really bypass the mainstream media because they're going to distort his message and distort who he's about. So I love to see him coming out with live audition in big arenas. I love to see his tweets. I just love it all. And it's about time we had a president that took them on. And I just wish sometimes that he get a little bit more support from his other fellow Republicans because the Democrats, they're vicious. You know, they're
Yes.
vicious and almost without principles as far as trying to reach a goal. In fact, what they're doing right now to this country with the CIA spying on the president, lying on the president, and everything else, trying to overthrow a duly elected president. I'm old enough to remember Watergate, and this is way beyond Watergate. But once again, the media is on their side, so they can get away with it, I guess. Or at least they think they're going to get away with it. But Trump is going to win again, so
Yes,
yeah.
he is. Yes, he is. So tell us, you have a website, and I know you have a donation link on there, and you have a way for people to volunteer. So tell us your website.
My website is my name, LacyJohnson.com, LacyJohnson.com. And
Yes.
once you go there, you'll see my Twitter link and my Facebook link, and you'll be able to donate, you'll be able to volunteer, you'll be able to do all these things we need to do to get Omar, make her a one-term representative in the House and in Congress.
Amen to that. We want an American loving president supporting candidate, and I think you're just perfect for the role. So we will be following your campaign, and hopefully we'll have you back on again. And thank you so much for joining us today, Lacy.
Thank you.
All right. You have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.